Busted. I'm calling them out on this one. How often do you ever hear me say that one of these shootings could possibly be a false flag? Well, kind of, but not really. I'm not really sold on it too often. But on this one, I think we got him by the belt. I really think this is a possible false flag right here. I think they got a little too arrogant with this one. They went overboard with all the little words they use to secretly give us clues, the pictures, the whole scenario, everything. I don't believe this. I really don't believe this one. I think we may have him by the belt on this one. I really do. In fact, take a look at this picture right here. This is supposed shooter Kevin Jansen Neal. And he looks like a morphed image of a bunch of celebrities put together. A little bit of Zach Galifianakis. Who else is in there? I don't know. But something just don't look right. It definitely looks fake. Fake news, fake shooter. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I'm not verifying this. I'm saying I'm giving you my opinion. I do investigative type work on these things all the time. I pull out all kind of clues and stuff, and we find stuff. Y'all find stuff. We work good together as a team. But yeah, this was a shooting supposedly near Rancho Tehama school. And we'll get right into this right now because it's getting quite interesting. Here, one of my subscribers, Kitty. It's 8:30 p.m. my time, and still not one news station, including Fox, has covered this or talked about it. Nothing. What the hell's up with that? And I agree. I was thinking the same thing myself. Fox briefly put on their station when the news story broke. They didn't have any information on it. And later they may come back and talk a little bit about it. But none of these news stations are talking about this shooting. None of them. All night tonight I was flipping channels. None of them. Everybody's talking about this. What's up? Why are they not covering this shooting? 5 people supposedly were killed. Why? Because they got too arrogant and they screwed this one up. That's why. And I'm jumping right on this and I'm exposing this. You deserve the truth. I deserve the truth. We're going to take the world back. And it starts with every single one of these videos and all the support that I have from you. This is incredible, right? This video is going to really shock you. I mean, it's insane what they tried to pull off on this one and make us believe this stuff. Some of these, I guess these people in control that are doing these things, they think some of us are stupid, but we're actually highly intelligent people. And we're blowing the cover on them. So, you know, the other day I put a video up here, evidence exposed, DHS, Department of Homeland Security, of course, FEMA, HC, crisis actors, false flags, public shootings. And if you want to see this video, of course it's still up. And I talk about how the government uses this HCEP and they put all this together, and basically what they do is they create a fake shooting incident. And nobody knows whether it's real or not because they're using real police, real actors, real everything. Everything's real guns, you name it. And they do this all over the country all the time. And so we might as well just call that a false flag, right? Because we don't know. They allow news crews, reporters to go in and film it, and I guess you could put it on the news, and who knows whether it's real or not, right? But this actually goes on. Look at the top of the page. That's from FEMA.gov. These are verified sites where they tell you that they're doing this. You have to sign waiver forms. I don't need to go into a lot of detail about that, but that's pretty evident what they're doing. And so it leaves it up to us to try to figure out what we're seeing. Is it real or not real? Because they're so good at creating false flags and using crisis actors and government psyops that, you know, who knows what's going on. And what's the agenda? You know the agenda, of course. Take away our Second Amendment rights. Get gun control. Take control of us. It's the monster that the government's become. No one person's in control. Too many legislative laws passed. And so that's what's going on. But we're on to this. We're on to this big time. And so I just wanted to mention that so you know that these things do exist. Here you see right here, evidence, exercise conduct. And they have all these different pages you can look at in regards to how they pull all this off and make these fake shootings, school shootings, terrorist attacks. This is all supported by the government, and it's all funded by the government. And they do these all the time. HC. So yeah, you just need to know about that. So some of you don't know about that. Now, check this out today. This guy, friend, one of my supporters, Tony Camps, and I agree. I noticed this right off too. In regards to today's shooting, and first I want to talk about this. How often, all the time, I'm telling you, what do they do in these shootings? They're always giving us clues with these words, these ridiculous names and words, and they all have meaning to it. They're throwing it in our face without telling us. They just want us to figure it out, and quite often I figure it out and I show you. I mean, watch, go back. If you want to go back, research the shootings, the names of the buildings, the people, the shooters, check some of the names out. You know? I mean, like Stephen Paddock. And I could just go, I mean, there's just so many like this. It's crazy where they give you these clues, these ridiculous names they come up with. And this is just a small example today in this shooting. Mercy Medical and Marcy Miracle. This is crazy, you know? I mean, this couldn't be just real. It couldn't be just coincidence. And check this out. I just noticed a few minutes ago, and I had to show you this. This is ridiculous. This is a guy that I'm going to show you an interview about in a minute. And the guy actually rehearses his interview. It's quite strange indeed. But this is from the incident today. This is from the shooting today in California. This guy is wearing a hat that says Harvest. Harvest. Like the Harvest Music Festival that I've been covering extensively in Las Vegas that occurred. The most deadly mass shooting in modern day history. What are the odds he's wearing a Harvest shirt? Now, I don't know if that's a Harvest. What is it? Harvest 91 or whatever it is. I don't know if that's what it is, but it still says Harvest. I mean, what's the point of that? They're throwing it in your face is what they're doing. There it is right there, Las Vegas. September 30th, October 2nd, Route 91 Harvest Country Music Festival. And the man has a Harvest shirt hat on. Just, coincidentally? Of course, that's not coincidence. Okay, so check this out. Shooter Devin Kelly, Texas Baptist Church, mass shooting, 26 dead. You know, of course, I covered that news story. What does it say up there at the top? Bible school and lived on a wooded property from which a neighbor heard gunfire at night. One of the things that they did in regards to that shooting is they talked extensively about how much he loved to shoot guns all night long. Shoot all night long. Insane. You know, all these neighbors saying, you know, he loved guns. What did they say about Stephen Paddock? Oh, he had 23 guns at the hotel and 40-something at the house, or I don't know, a total of 40-something, something like that. Guns everywhere. So what they're trying to promote and make you believe is people have too many guns and they need to get control of them and take away our Second Amendment rights. That's what's going on with some of these false flags. I'm not saying Las Vegas shooting was one. I'm just saying that's what they're doing with these shootings and a lot of these false flags. You know, just like here in Texas, you know, over and over, they kept saying the neighbors heard him shooting the gun all night, you know. And so what are they doing today in this shooting? Well, first let me name the shooter. The name is, here he is right here. Kevin Jensen Neal. Now, what is one of the top things they're saying about him? Check this out. The crazy thing that the neighbor has been shooting, the crazy thing is that the neighbor has been shooting a lot of bullets lately, hundreds of rounds, large magazines. We made it aware that this guy is crazy and he's been threatening us. This is somebody talking that knows a neighbor, that knows a shooter that shot today in California. That's what they're saying. Flint described living near Neal as hell, he said. I just feel like maybe there should have been more effort put in potentially stopping things like this. So yeah, what? By taking away your guns. That's what he's trying to say. He's promoting the evil government agenda to take away your Second Amendment rights and the guns. Same thing you just saw. You just saw it a second ago. Same thing that they said about the Texas shooter. And many others also. You know, saying supposedly Stephen Paddock was a shooter. You know, shouldn't be allowed all these guns, all this ammunition. Texas shooter. Shooting all night. And now this one, the one today, California. Hundreds of rounds, large magazines. Come on. I mean, we're not stupid, okay? Every time now, they're just brainwashing this into the people that sit home, watch TV, and those that don't get it, that the guns need to be taken away, they need more gun control, and they need to get a hold of our Second Amendment rights, which we can't allow to happen because the Second Amendment Second Amendment is a constitution, and that's forever in concrete. It has to be, and we have to demand that, and we have to protect that. But you see what they're doing. You see this agenda that's going on. It's so obvious. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to figure this out. You know, it really doesn't. We know what's going on. Okay, so let's see. Here, the shooter randomly targeted people and stole cars during the rampage. Now, I'm not going to read all the news story about what this guy did, but they make it out like he's some superhero gone bad. I mean, he's carjacking people, shooting random people, shooting at the school, shooting at cars, running down the highway. I mean, I don't know. There's so much going on with this person, targeting like 5 different locations. I mean, it sounds so crazy. And look, here's his picture right here. That definitely has a piece of Zach Galifianakis in it. I worked on several movies with Zach Galifianakis. He's an awesome actor in the New Orleans area here. And I remember one scene, he was playing a bad character, and he walked by and it gave him this look. And he smiled because he was like, damn, that was good. It was like this threatening look because he's a bad person, and it was just funny. But he's a very funny character. He really is. If you work with him in person or on a movie, you love this guy. But this looks like a little piece of him in that picture right there. And other actors too. I mean, I hadn't really sat and thought about this, but look at that picture. Doesn't that look like a morphed image of Zach Galifianakis and a bunch of other actors combined into an image? Like they took all these little pieces and they put them in there and made this character. And this guy looks crazy. They certainly made him look crazy. They even got the hair going wild. And so now they're saying he was already being prosecuted for an earlier stabbing. So I guess, a reason to take away your knives now. Crazy. And look at all the cameras out there. A witness reported the gunman wearing camouflage fired through classroom windows. Now they're saying he fired through classroom windows. But there's contradicting news stories that are saying that the school went on lockdown and it saved all the students. But they said a few students got shot, but they weren't killed. Kids, I guess. But what doesn't make sense if you've got all these news cameras out there, yet nobody's covering this story on the news. Nobody. On any of the big stations. Haven't seen it. They're not even talking about it. Because they blew the cover and they got too arrogant, and we're exposing that. That's why. Now check this out. Right here, Neal was threatening neighbors and shooting guns, a witness said. This witness, right here, which I'm about to show you a couple videos of, this you're going to find quite interesting indeed. It's a man, let's see, Sarah Stinson. Here's part of an interview with the man who says his truck was stolen. So I guess this man's truck was stolen too? And what's the 89 mean? It's got to mean something. I didn't look it up, but we need to figure that out. It's got to be some sign to that too. There's a reason for that 8 and that 9 circling it. I mean, the 9 circling that 8 right there. I've always said that the 0 and the 8 is a very significant, strong number. I discovered that. I've talked about it in many videos. It's powerful. But you got an 8 there with a 9 hooked around it. What's going on with that? We should look that up. We should look that up. I mean, I just got to get this video out there. But yeah, it says, here's part of an interview with the man who says his truck was stolen and his roommate was shot and killed by the alleged shooter who is described as known as felon in his 50s named Kevin. Okay, so this man supposedly had his truck stolen and his roommate shot and killed? But what the odd thing about this is, I'm about to show you 2 videos here. And in these videos, this man does an interview. And then I'm going to show you another video where he's practicing the interview. This is so bizarre. In the first video, you see the microphone up there and he's talking. He's got it all down pat. But in the second one, he's practicing it. And it reminds you of like a crisis actor. Practice your parts. Practice what you got to say. Get it all right. And then we'll put you on camera and film it. That's really bizarre and crazy. Any of you conspiracy theorists, I mean, I've got a little bit of it in me. Everybody does, I think. But the ones that are really into it are going to love these next 2 videos. Because this just screams cover up, crisis actor, false flag all over it. He's got the harvest thing on his hat. He's practicing what he's doing, and then he gets on film and does it. I don't know. This is so bizarre indeed. It really is. And then on the second video, the first video is the final take. If he's doing crisis actor type stuff, the first one is the final take. where he supposedly gets it right. He's got the microphone, they're filming it. But the second one is where he's practicing it, like a crisis actor would do. Practice your part and get it right, and then, you know, so somebody captured this video and sent it to me because they want this false flag stuff exposed, and we all do, really. But this is so interesting indeed. And he's looking down like he knows he's not telling the truth, and he's just playing the part of an actor. You're looking down most of the time. That's one of the signs there that you're not being honest, I would suppose. I'm just guessing. I mean, I don't, you know. But it is strange indeed. It really is. You've got to see these two videos. It makes no sense at all. Yeah, so leave your comments and thoughts.
One other thing, look at his hat. It says Harvest. What's that remind you of? The Harvest Music Festival shooting that occurred in Las Vegas that I've been covering extensively. Interesting. All these little clues.
Stolen. And the crazy thing is that the neighbor has been shooting a lot of bullets lately, hundreds of rounds, large magazines, and, you know, we've made it aware that this guy has been crazy, and he's been threatening us, everything like that. We just feel like maybe we're a little crazy.
And how's your roommate right now?
Unfortunately, he's not good. He's dead. You know, for his family and everything like that. You know, I feel bad to be there for them. I don't know.
How are you feeling about this all since you knew he was a problem, you said?
I just feel like maybe there should have been more effort put into potentially stopping things like this.
So yeah, this is really enlightening right here. Somebody sent me this video wanting to expose these false flags. And it appears that this man that you just saw in the interview is practicing like a crisis actor would do. Practice your lines, your part, to make sure you get it right, all the information before they start filming you. And it seems to be what's going on here, like a false flag type thing. This is very strange indeed. Check this out. This is very interesting.
I was in town and I got a call. I got a call that my roommate was injured, and it was from the neighbor, and that there was an incident and a shooting, and that my truck was stolen. And the crazy thing is that the neighbor has been shooting a lot of bullets lately, hundreds of rounds, large magazines, and, you know, we've made it aware that this guy has been crazy, and he's been threatening us, and everything like that. We just feel like maybe